Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to PJ's Quarters. I'm glad that you can come by and spend a little time with me as I spend a little time with you on this great historic day. It's supposed to be a historic day in America. And remember that? Remember the day when the earth passed in front of this group or that group or whatever. Hey, I'm glad that you can spend some time with me here today. I want to talk with you about, what the title implies. I'm okay. Um, I want to start off this presentation today by letting you know that you can feel free about chiming in. I'd love for you to listen to what I'm going to talk about and kind of analyze it from an intelligent point of view. If you are biased about being real and frank about the way life is, then you will not care for this presentation. I'd like to refer you, as I always do, to my personal website, johnecoleman.org. And I brought the tablet out today because I wanted to blow the piece up. It's called The Father, let me do that, The Father and the Son. And I'd like you to listen to that piece. It's a piece that I did with a young man when he was 21 years old. He is now in his early 30s. And I'd just like you to listen to that because that is what I do to this day. That's what I do in young men's lives. I bring hope to them. And what I do is I use an antiquated website, something that anybody in his right mind wouldn't spend too much time going to because it looks like a confused old man just rambling off at nothing or having no reason to tell the truth about anything. That's not true. Um, I hope you appreciate what I'm about to say. Um, I was talking with a dear friend of mine. He will undoubtedly listen to this webcast. I spoke to him this morning. I called him. He lives on the East Coast. I wanted to talk about the eclipse, and I thought that since he's in the DC area, that he would be far closer than I am to it. The conversation took a turn. You know what I did? As a matter of fact, I thought about my relationship with this man, and he's a senior citizen now. And so I said, while I'm speaking with you, I'd like to apologize if I've ever consciously or unconsciously, professionally, on a professional basis or whatever, if I've offended you. Because I've always been one that believed that how you treat a person in life comes back at you in life. They call it karma. And so I didn't think that I had offended this man in any way. But in case I had, I said, while I have you on the phone line, I'd like to say I'm sorry if I've ever hurt you when I was professionally doing what I was doing, or even in private conversations. I said, because we're both senior citizens, and I dress like this because I have to stay warm. Okay? PJ got to stay warm. I'm I'm 80 plus years old now. Just made 80 in February. I got to keep healthy. And in keeping healthy, if keeping healthy means that I must not only remain healthy in my body, that's why I'm drinking orange juice today. Oh, that was good. Do you know how cold orange juice feels? If you were born and raised in Los Angeles, cold orange juice, when you go into the store and pull it off the shelf and the bottle is so cold, you just have to wipe your hands to warm them up. That kind of cold orange juice. I love that. Do I thank God every day when I take a swig of orange juice? No, I do not. Do I recognize God every time I drink a swig of orange juice? No, I do not. Am I consciously aware that, how can I say it, that God is maneuvering my every move in my body? No, I don't think of God like that anymore. Does it mean that I'm less concerned about God than I was years ago when I was in the prime of my life? No, it doesn't take anything away. Let me read. I think I have someone commenting. Thank you for coming on. Ah, so this is Melvin. Melvin is listening in. Uh, I'm so glad that you could. Thank you, Melvin. I'm doing this because I know that if I were to do it over the phone, it may not come out right. And so I thought about how I could answer you better and what better way but for me to come on live and let you know because I told you that I'm okay. Melvin is praying for my eternal soul. Um, and I told him that he need not pray for my eternal soul. There's no reason because I'm okay. And Melvin went on to tell me, no, I'm not. And it not only tickled me, it took me back in time and it caused me to think about certain books that I'm reading. I'm still reading through this one, James Baldwin's life, what he said and says in my spirit now. And Baldwin helps me a lot. He helps me a lot because he keeps it black. I believe, Melvin, about me, that when I was an evangelical, and I won't deny that. For those of you that love me as evangelicals, I was an evangelical. I truly was. But before I was an evangelical, I was a Christian. Yeah, we're going to have this discussion. And I want you to think with me. Before I joined the evangelical movement, I was fully aware that I was okay. Because before I joined the evangelical movement, I had physically aligned myself to a bunch of Baptist African American, as we knew it, Christians. So I was a Christian before I became an evangelical. That's where I'll put it. I was thinking as a black man like a white man about most of the things that I read in this book, the Bible. And I have it open because, and I'm so glad you're tuning in live, because I said, Lord, speak to me through your spirit and give me some proof that you're speaking with me. And I open up the Bible to this page right here, and my finger landed on 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. And I said, speak to me, Lord. Now, you can see that that verse is greened out there, and that's the verse that my finger landed on. And this is what it says. Let me read it. This is what it says. Boast no more so very proudly. Do not let arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and with him with him actions are weighed. Now I'll read this verse again, and I want you to hear what this verse is saying to me when I read it. It said, boast no more so proudly. I've never boasted about what I knew about God, what I know about God now, how I know how God works. He showed me, and I've been that all of my life. Do not let arrogance come out of my mouth. Arrogance in which way? Only arrogance about my knowledge of God and what God tells me, not of me. I want nothing. I've never was a materialist, never will be a materialist. I could have said something, but my friend would have known why I said it, and that would have been wrong for me to say. So therefore, I won't say it. I've never been arrogant in my mouth. And then it says, for the Lord is a God of knowledge. And that's what I love about this the most.
Okay, I found this on the web for as it is. For the Lord is a God of knowledge. Check it out.
Okay, wait a minute. I didn't know that I got this other pad on, and this pad just comes on in the middle of you know what? I should turn this iPad off. Yeah, because this thing just comes on and starts talking to you, doesn't it? But this verse is why I love God, because I can always depend upon him to chide me in a negative way if I'm wrong. As of this moment in my life, everything in my life is absolutely wonderful. I don't think that I have any unforgivable sin that I need to repent of, because that is not my way to do that. Um, so I'll continue on. What has changed my mind from being an evangelical? Because I believe that many of the friends that I had need to take a real deep look at themselves. Just because I'm ailing or there may be something going on in my body physically, it does not affect my mind. You know, I like the scripture that says, let this same mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. That is the mind that's in me. And Christ Jesus would want me to listen to a man that talks about race in a book called Race Matters. Can you believe that that's Cornel West? Can you believe that's Cornell? Yeah. He used to have black hair like I used to have black hair. But when you get old, and some of your views change. My views change on evangelicism. And when I see the way most evangelicals will vote for Donald Trump, I could never do that. That man doesn't have a brain in his head to think up street about down street, nor do many of the Democrats that are in the House of Representatives and the halls of Congress, Democratic senators and legislators. I don't believe in any politician. I only believe in one man that had the message for the world. I don't, as a matter of fact, I know that his skin color wasn't that of a Caucasian. I know that because he was born in a region where people were more like an Iranian or an Iraqi or Palestinian, something like that. And being from Northern Africa, I cannot take away the idea that there was tremendous Nubian influence in Jesus. Oh, yes. And not this rule keeper Jesus. I'm enjoying my life. What's wrong with me enjoying being alive? What's wrong with me enjoying my orange juice? Oh, just delicious. I'm going to give more fodder for the evangelicals. It's not even court. It's in my cooler, in my office at any time. I can do that if I wanted to, and if I had a special guest and we were celebrating. I love good Japanese whiskey. I'm doing fine. I don't have diabetes. I love to eat sugar. I do it because I'm okay. I can want to do it. When I get hungry, I have food in the deal that I can heat up and I can eat. If I get thirsty and I want to, there it is, I can drink that. And it's right here at my fingertips. I'm alive, I'm okay, and I'm happy, and I can walk. Wait a minute. Ah, oh, I'm sorry. You know how when you go to the restroom and yes, well, that's what that was. Excuse me. Um, but I'm an old man, and so you can only excuse me so much. Um, what else about me? I think that people are to recognize. I'm a man that seems to be outliving a lot of my own relatives. Here recently, I just experienced the death of my brother, 2 years behind me in age. And I must admit, it was difficult. I had difficulty dealing with Ross's death because I had spoken with him a couple of days before he passed away. And I told him that he was uh, most likely to be in that place of departure long before me. And so it was good for me to have that discussion with him. Let me just adjust this a little bit. There we go. That's much better. Um, Then my cousin, Roland Coleman, passed away. He was an attorney, a lawyer, if you will, and I had a discussion with him a few days before he died, just like I did with my brother. And then my other first cousin, David, passed away of diabetes and all those things. I don't have that. I'm doing okay. No, this is not a picture of, because in the Bible that I believe in, it says that I shouldn't have any idols before me. So this is not Jesus. This is not Moses. This is not any human being that ever lived. It's an insignia to let people know that I am a man of prayer and of the cloth and of some kind of esoteric faith. That's all this is. Wait, someone's writing to me again, and I got to read it. You excuse me, but I got to get down and read it. It says, "If you love, why don't you obey God?" Listen to this. Why do you disobey and teach against the commandments? Now, okay, here we go. All right, I can only answer that question by letting you know that I'm living in a day and age where I display that differently. Let me give you a good example. I'm gay, and when I was a pastor, I would never even mention on any open forum or behind the pulpit that I was gay, because if I did, my ass would be grass. They would mow the earth with me. They would rake me under. I couldn't save face. And the most homophobic group of individuals on the planet today, in my estimate, are evangelical Christians and charismatic Christians when it comes to LGBT individuals. They would say that they love them where they really detest them. And what they try to do is to use this beautiful Bible, which I just quoted from, and try to make it say what it hasn't said. I don't know why everybody can't have a Bible in one hand, and that's good if you want to do that, because especially in this country, we're here in America. You can read it, you can have it on the walls, you can have it on books behind you, you can do all that. Why do I break the commandments? I'll tell you why. Number one, because I'm not living under the old covenant of this two covenant book, the old covenant and the new covenant. Why am I not obeying the commandments? Because those commandments were not written to me. See, God made me who I am. And so I see the commandments that are written unto me. You choose the ones that you want to live under, and I'm damn sure telling you, I'm going to choose the ones I'm going to live under. Because if I read something that does not apply to me, but applies to you, you go ahead and do it. Evangelicals cannot break away from that. They don't know how to do it. Another good book that I gotta show this. This is really good. I brought this book out of my library because I want you to. I think you need to read up. You need to read it as a black man living in America without going off on the deep end like some of these Panthers did. I would have done better if I'd saved all my money. Listen to me. If I saved all my money and used all that money towards my advancement, instead of buying plane tickets, hotel rooms, and all those kinds of things to educate people about God when all they had to do was open up the Bible and read it themselves. I really felt in my heart that I was helping people. Well, when I see what happened to us, and you know what? Educate yourself. I'm not even going to waste my time, because if you're that old and you want to follow this insane thing, you go right ahead. I, I am not going to lower and to subject myself to a life of misery and drudgery. I'm getting old and I'm going to die. Every old person knows that. You can't escape that. There ought not be any fear of death, because death is natural in every living organism. Plants die, trees die, insects die, all mammals die. We're mammals. And when we die, our spirit, we believe as humans, are going to go to a special place where a human spirit goes. I believe that we are going to be with God wherever God would have us. Now, wherever God would have us is based upon what we've done for Him. If you want to believe in that jealous God thing, that God gave you a gift to do it, and if you don't do it, He's going to do something to you. I don't follow God in that way. I don't follow God in that way. I've never done anything in God's face that would displease Him, except one thing. I don't want to lie. Except one thing. Tell Him I quit. I'll never quit exonerating God, extolling Him, giving praise to Him. I happen to be a human being that, well, another dear friend of mine died. I got to speak about that. Cecil Chip Murray. Many times I called Cecil on the radio. Cecil was the famous pastor of Fame First Day of Me Church here in Los Angeles. He was pastor emeritus there for so many years until his time ran out. And then I heard they put in another preacher and he just went crazy. But that's another story. But I would have Chip come on a radio presentation and discuss with me certain things that were taking place in the church during that time back in the 90s. And Chip was always a lively fellow. He come on my radio presentation and the audience would always be able to enjoy our conversations. They were sharp, ripe. Chip loved me because he knew that I loved him. Chip was AME, African Methodist Episcopalian, which was anything other than an evangelical, because most white people would go into an African American church and wouldn't know how to behave, because we worship differently, because we are different. We are a different part of this species down here. We're not all the same. If you think Christians have this position that we're in, where we're on our knees and praying, no, we like to boogie, get down to, get a little shake going on, and hey, do our thing, because that's the culture from which we are from. And it becomes natural to us to do that. And I think that when you come up as an evangelical and you're black, you come up and you're kind of stiff. You're kind of stiff. And that's why the church in general has taken a shift and a change, but especially the African American church because, my goodness, there's so much that is different in the church today. Okay, I've stood up too much. Let me sit down. See, I can't stand up. I can't stand up too much. I can't do it. I have gotten old. And when you get old, you get old. I had another book here that I wanted to show you. Where is it? I read other material. This is a magazine that I pick up, record. As gay man, I don't just hang around and do nothing and read nothing. I read things. And this Message magazine is a message that is put out by In the Meantime Men here in Los Angeles. You don't have to see my face, but I read this book, the articles, this pamphlet, and you have people on here. Gentleman in the red blazer recently passed away. The other two there, I know them. I hang out with them. These are my friends. I don't need the church friends anymore. I had to make new friends. And I read articles such as on HIV because I tried to stay ahead of the game. That's very important to stay ahead of the game, but not because I have sex with people and do all of that, because I don't. I don't do that. It's just important to know what's happening in the community that you live in and deal with. And I appreciate all these people. Okay. Now here's a great article. See, accepting who you are takes courage. I've accepted that I'm a gay man, that I'm a senior citizen, that I'm a retired professional, and that I'm happy in my heart and rejoicing and thanking God that He has given me the life to live that He always expected me to live. Now, you asked me, was I born again? Yes, I had a new birth experience before many of my listeners were born. Probably, Melvin, before you had yours. I had a new birth experience in August of 1967. It wasn't in church. I was not in no damn church. Man, in church. You can't get what I got in church. I have told people, yeah, I like this. This article is beautiful. Ivan showed us. That's the man that died. It's a wonderful life. I had a new birth experience in August of 1967. An experience that, unto this day, I cannot rightly define what was going on. Okay? In other words, I could not intelligently and if you don't have to believe me, but my iPad just turned itself on after I had turned it off. See, because I believe that there are people out there that can control your devices and can turn the sucker on and off when they want to. I can't prove it, but it just happened. I got an iPad here and it just came on and the microphone just came on. I didn't touch it. How did it come on? Now you may say, John, you're lying. Go fly a kite. I'm okay. See, I can eat me this, and I'm not advertising. I didn't mean to do that. I should have done this. I can eat this. I don't have diabetes. I don't have anything like that. I have high blood pressure. I took my tablet. Okay. I can eat this. And I don't have to fear. And even if I had diabetes, I'd still eat it because I like the way these bars taste. Especially the way they have that caramel on the top of it. That caramel up there. Oh, that. Yes. Mm. Y'all know what I mean? I'm okay. I'm 80 plus years old. I'm okay with getting old. I was just asked, so I fear men more than I fear God. No, I don't fear men, nor do I fear God. I reverentially fear him, but I don't fear him. Now you figure that out. Did you hear what I just said? I don't I reverentially fear him. I fear him as a person that reveres him, but I don't fear him. Because God is not a retributive human that gives a payback. God only gives you more energy to produce what he put in you to produce. That's what God is. God is not this evangelical view. You gonna do this or I'm gonna jam you. I watched a clip today on the YouTube of a Haitian man. He had to be in his early 20s. And he was somewhere, I think it was in Port-au-Prince, in a marketplace. And he said he was going to cook dinner and buy it for under $5. And he walks us through the marketplace and doing all that. And I looked at the people, all close, motorcycles all up on the street. I so enjoyed the young man's YouTube page, I subscribed to it. And he like myself, he does what he does where he is. I'm doing what I'm doing where I am. Why is there something wrong with me because I'm 80 years old, loving the life that I'm living? I'm living my life like it's golden, man. Now, if you're a senior citizen, if you want to lie down, if you want to give up, well, what the hell with you? Go ahead and give up. I'm not going to be sitting in my quarters here with my hands up in the sky, waiting on some white folk to come and take me to a place by and by. You out of your mind. Damn. I'm not that. I'm okay. And when you messed up, you think like that. And anybody got you thinking like that, they messed up. And they messed you up. I'm not messed up like that. I ain't waiting to go in the sweet by and by with nobody. And when I close my eyes in death, for any person to tell me, oh, since you don't think like I think, no, I'm beyond that. I am thinking like people in this day and age think because I am a contemporary of theirs. And when you stop being a contemporary of the people that God have you living around, you are living in a delusion somewhere and you are just waiting to kick the bucket. I'm not waiting to kick the bucket. Oh, why you dressed like that? I dress like that because I feel like this. This has nothing to do with me coming against God in any way. Then why am I not afraid to die and I don't live a miserable life? Wait a minute. Then why am I not? Oh, you're asking me why you're not afraid. I don't know the God you know. See, we must be, and I know that there's only, the evangelicals teach that there's only one God, but I don't know the God you know, because the God I know has never gave me a thought like that. That's irresponsible. You said, then what, how would I know whether you're afraid to die or not? It's impossible for me to know that. You see, this is what makes evangelicalism so jackass stupid. You're asking me to go into your head and tell you what's in your brain, and that is impossible. Who thinks like that? Evangelicals. There it is. Man, you can see Benny Hinn blow on you. You can see Creflo take your dollar. You can see TD Jakes. Have you ever been swallowed? You can, I mean, you can have it all. Why do you need to analyze anything? Are you living your life? Are you living? You know what? When that girl made that record, I thought she was wrong. When she made that record, I'm living my life like it's golden, golden, living my life like, I said, that girl is wrong. No, that girl is right. And that's just what I'm doing. I'm living my life like it's golden. Now, you may tell me, you may think that that is an immortal sin to live my life like it's the sweetest, baddest, man, the coolest life on the planet. I'm living my life like it's golden, golden, golden. Living my life, living my life, living my life like it's golden. Do you think I'm afraid of death, Melvin? I can die at any second. The master can turn out the light of my heart. I can keel over in front of this laptop. You think I'm afraid of that? Why would I be afraid? Because of something that somebody put in your head that's going to happen to me after my spirit leaves this body, right? Okay. I'll address that right now. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a minute. Orange juice. But I do have wine and I do have whiskey. Excuse me. And I have all of the things. And I'm not trying to mock God or anything. Wait a minute. I'm going to give you reason enough to dislike me. I'm living my life like it's golden. Golden. Uh huh. Mm hmm. That's better. Sativa is always good because, see, what sativa do, it opens your head. It opens your brain. Just, no, it don't make you loaded high and all this stuff. I've been saying for years, when you give some of these senior citizens who have battles with dementia, you know, why am I not afraid to die? And then you says, and I don't live a miserable life. I think you do, because you're living by some other man's construct and not your own. Yeah. Any person that lives by another person's construct, see, that is the underlying definition of freedom. Don't ever find yourself living as another man tells you you ought to live, and living that way does not produce joy. When you look at the poor Palestinian people crying and their infrastructure, everything they had is demolished, their hospitals. I mean, come on. Inhumane. An evangelical would say it served them right. They shouldn't have messed with God's people. So that was justifiable. You're a fundamentalist. You're a fundamentalist. You are a fundamentalist. And that's why you're the way you are. And you know who you are. Why would I want to join you folks? You got to be out of your ever loving mind to think that John Coleman, me, you better look at my old work, you stupid jackasses. You better listen to what I taught you, and you better live your life while you have it to live. I am going to live mine. And when I drop, I'm supposed to drop. I don't even think whether I'd be sad or glad. If I'd fall in water, I wish somebody would lift me up. But if I drown in my bathtub, there go I. If I fall in an elevator shaft and get my legs torn off and I bleed out, I will quietly go to sleep and wake up in another plane, in another place. Not in physical form, but in mental form, because I did not believe that you can ever disseminate the mind. Never be an evangelical again. They think crazy. They try to put their fears as another man's fears. That is why around this globe, people have their own religion. They choose what they choose to keep them. All right? Well, I've chosen what I've chosen to keep me, and I don't need some paranoid, schizophrenic, lunatic man to put his belief system on me. And I wish I had a mind like this when I was in my early 20s. I wish I had a mind like this. Oh, I would have still responded to God when He called me when I was 23. I would have still responded. Would have went and joined the church too. But my mind would be illumined and not, as an evangelical. I don't see angels with blonde hair and wings flying around me, whispering in my ear. I think every human being on the planet has a purpose and their lives are of value and worth. Even white people. Just like I say, even Asian people. Even Latin people. And I put a special emphasis on black peoples. But I listen to no religion that gets in my mind and twists it. If I stand on the side of a cliff, and I know I'm standing on the side of a damn cliff, and I look down and whoo, that thing's about 4,000 feet. Rocks, jagged edges, and everything else like that. Now, you know why I step away from the cliff? I step away from the cliff because of what the rock said to me on the bottom, hitting my body because gravity no longer had a hold on me. That's why I stepped away from the cliff. Oh, yes. And I know if I fell off that cliff and start falling, first thing I do is I close my eyes because I would know within a second or a millisecond my life on this planet would be gone. And I've been hit before, I've been slapped before, but I've never fallen on rocks like that. Oh, and I see that I lost Melvin. He couldn't take it anymore because I'm letting him know I'm no evangelical. And that man was praying for me because he thinks that I'm lost. And I'm telling you, people, I'm not lost. Beware of organizations like that because as you get older, you mature. I think it's somewhere in the Bible where the Apostle Paul said, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I behaved as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things and I started thinking like a man, reasoning like a man. How come Mel couldn't stay on the line with me? How come he couldn't stay and communicate with me? I tell you why he couldn't do it. That's what evangelical tells you to do. Turn off your mental factors and buy into the garb that we feed you. That's nothing less than a Hegelian dialectic where they get into your, oh, if you don't know who Hegel is, I got to do it again. I got to do it again. Why do I have to do it again? Oh, let's see. Where is it? Where is he? 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 I'm just going to take a guess and I'm going to show you something out of this book. I told you guys you should only watch me at night. My show is better at night. Okay. I'm going to look up Hegel. And I'm going to read something to you. Here we are. Wait a minute. I'm in the glossary. If those of you are wondering. Ah, here it is. Yes. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Right. George Friedrich Hegel. Page 149. Be patient. Be patient. It's going to be worth it. 137. Here we are. And this, on the contrary, was not one of the books that I used in the classroom when I was there. Melvin, I'm glad you came back. You should never hang up on a friend. See, I'm lost now. For the rest of you that watch me and pay attention to me, I am a man that when I die, my soul is going to a burning, scorching hell because I didn't answer his questions right. See, and what I'm giving you people out there that watch me is this: whomever and whatever you are, be okay with it. See, now I don't know whether he's okay with himself. He's old as I am, and he'd fallen down twice. Been in the hospital each time. I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to tell him, come up out of the matrix. You got to pull yourself up out of that mess. But you just keep sinking in there when you keep believing these fairy tales. They're fairy tales. Now, what is Hegelianism? Here's a profile. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, born in the year 1770. So the United States, they say, came together in 1776, right? So he was born 5 or 6 years before the uh, revolution came in America to free itself from Britain, those colonizers. And he died in 1831. So that gives you a frame of reference as to where we are in this discussion. There was a sort of
unknown caller.
Wait a minute, let me see who this might be. No, I don't know anybody there. Okay. Hegel earned himself the nickname the old man while he was still a university student in Germany. He was serious about everything that he did, even to the somber, even became somber when he drunk. Oh, I don't want to hear about this. No, I don't want to. I'm sorry, I don't want to read. I wanted to get into the cosmology of his belief system. I'm sorry, they didn't. Here it is. Here it is. All right, let me come down to it. Yes. Note for Hegel, there is this triadic structure is not a method by means of which we discover truth. Instead, it is the way things are. It is the actual structure of thought. Thus, for example, the most basic and fundamental category or concept is being. See? The being. And this is, but being is nothing without none being. It's opposite. Did you understand that? Because he told the truth. Being is the opposite of none being. And the synthesis of these opposites is becoming. I feel that. There's where I am right now. Hence, the absolute is becoming. You get it? The absolute can only become when you gain synthesis with where you are. Where am I right now? I'm living in the year 2024. I need to become more inclined to its music, to its culture. Why? Because that is the way I enjoy my life. That is what makes me okay. I don't want to, hey, I like Al Green, Otis Redding, The Temptations, Martha and the Vandellas, and all that kind of stuff. That was when I was a young man, but I like this too. I feel very good with it. And when this synthesis comes together, then you come into reality. I'm sorry, Melvin, you couldn't hear me out. But for those of you that listen to me, that's what, be careful of these church people. You can be friends with them for years. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like what Nazism did to Germany under Hitler. I'm quite sure that there was many people in Germany that knew that Adolf was out of his mind when he came up with that. But when you can't get bread and them knockwurst and all that stuff that you like to eat, things all messed up, it's easy to fall into chaos. And I think that's what America's done. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you for those that
Ricky Presley,
come
PR,
by.
HQ9 Network
wait a
3,
minute, I got somebody
W9HP,
coming on. Hold on. Hold on
YX37Q,
one
TP.
second. Oh, hi, Ricky. How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good. You look like you're doing good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I am. You look good. You look good.
Thank you. I feel good.
What? And so you're telling me that it's okay for you to be you?
And I'm going to be me.
Yeah, but what if somebody else wanted you to be like them?
And that's okay.
Right. That's the way I feel about it.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
You're right. Right.
Not at all.
That's it.
So what are you doing today?
Well, trying to conclude in my mind to give an answer to a friend of mine that I spoke to. He lives in the DC area earlier today. And he basically, I tried, when we were professionals years ago, we would have these debates. I met him as I flew across the country. Well, I was talking with him and he told me that there's something wrong with me. And I said, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. And so he said, he was talking like I shouldn't be okay. And I was trying to ask him, why shouldn't I be okay? And so I did a webcast and he came on and he began to speak to me about being okay. And as I was giving my final close of argument, he leaves the live webcast. He leaves it.
Okay,
And why would a grown man professionally do that? Mentally, you don't do that. You state your case.
Clearly, it's something wrong with that individual, first of all. And for someone to tell me or say that they were thinking I should be doing worse, bad, or whatever, number one rule of thumb, you don't pay my bills, supply my needs. So I tell a motherfucker to get a straw and suck out of my yellow ass.
Right.
Have a good day.
Be nice.
I'm going to be real as a $2 bill.
I heard that.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not mad at you.
And
I'm not
I'm
mad
not
at you.
living based on your standards or
Right.
your principles.
Right.
I don't have to explain anything to Mary Jo Blow
Right.
of such.
And that's just
don't waste my energy on stuff for people like that.
Yeah. Well, I
I
just,
don't do that.
I mean, I called him because I knew he's, you know, he's ailing, and
But we all are ailing. But if you don't have anything good to say, don't waste your time.
you know what, you are probably right, but
It's not about. Come on, car. If you don't, lady.
be patient. Be patient.
I'm very patient. They just standing there. And
No,
I'm
you
waiting
just
on
hollering
them
at
to go.
people in your car. What kind of thing is that? You hollering at these people.
I'm done hollering.
Oh man, you hollering at these people.
I'm
My
very
goodness.
patient. I'm letting her back in. You have.
My
I'm
goodness.
very patient. I ain't in no hurry, baby. Yeah, she thought I was in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. Mm-mm.
You enjoying that beautiful day outside, aren't
It's
you?
a beautiful day today. It's pretty out here.
Let
Why
me
am I rushing? Why am I rushing?
let me see if you can sing the beautiful day in the neighborhood song with me. You ready? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
I'm trying to park. These people got these sharpened carts all in the wrong way over here.
Yeah, but at least you got some money to go shopping with. Well, you go shopping. I'll talk with you. All right. All right. Talk to me later. All right. That was a good call. You never know when my calls would come in. And but he gave some good advice. Who would and the reason that that I sound so adamant about that is because any religion, I better be careful when I say this because I know somebody going to say that I denied Christ. I didn't say that because Christ said, if you deny me before man, I'll deny you before God. I'm not talking about denial in that sense. I do not and cannot and will not ever, with my logical human brain that God gave me, and I still have the same one, admittingly that I've forgotten a few things here and there, but it's the same brain, thinking, reasoning. God knows I love him, love his ways, and everything about him. But I'm living in a world today where so many things are different and they excite me. I'm excited about my grandchildren's lives. I heard this week they just started a new job, both of them. No, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about their loves and downfalls. And I want to live through that. I want to live to be 100, 105. It'd be nice. I want to live. Hell, I love living. I don't like doing what a lot of these young people like to do. They want to jump around too much. I want to jump around. I just want to live. I hear about people, man, they still digging for them people in Palestine. got to be horrible. Things go to pieces. And I know it'd be just as horrible if anything come to pieces, go to pieces around here. It'd be just as wet and just as bad. Well, but I'm okay. I really am.
Ricky Presley, PR,
wait a
HQ9
minute,
Network
he's
3,
calling me back.
W9HP.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, that was my mom calling.
Oh,
She said, I thought you were coming by. I want you to walk with me. I said, Mom, I'm on my way to your house now. Give me a minute.
oh man, you know. Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah. I had to meet my sister over here at Target
Yeah.
on 120th, give her
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So I'm heading over here now to go and walk with Mommy Dearest.
That's the way it ought to be. And I love that, man, because, you know, the more and more I think of your mom and you walking her, and I lost my mom when I was 12 years old. That's a blessing, boy. Mm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You
That's
lost your
a
mom
blessing.
at an early age.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom will be 94 in
Ooh.
November.
That is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful,
I'll
man.
be 67 in December.
Oh,
The
man.
time is moving.
Yeah, well, I'm on my way to 81, so I'm.
Well, you look good. You look good.
Thank you.
On your way to 81, that's a blessing of the Lord.
Yes, it is.
Taking care of yourself, so you are truly, truly blessed.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Hey, man, let me end up some things here, and I'll call you back.
Anytime you want to do, no worry.
All
Have a
right.
blessed day.
That sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Good friends. Good friends. He's a friend that taught me, don't give a damn about what nobody think about you, John. Do you. Do you. And I do me. But it's some old ideas. And I see the way some church people put that stuff in your head. Because when that stuff is deep rooted in your brain and ties up in your heart, it's hard for you to get the tangles from around it because you feel that if you pull away from that you're pulling away from life itself. No, you're being free from the matrix. Remember when Neo came out of the slop bucket? Remember that? He was pulled free. And he was just in mundane routine. Oh, I did something wrong, God. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did that. Okay, you told God you're sorry, right? How many years you're going to have to tell him you're sorry about the same thing? Did he hear you the first time? Why are you crying whenever you think about that? Do you think God could forgive you once and for all? When God called me to preach, right? All he told me to tell you was the truth. When I close my eyes in death, I'll be resting, people. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Now, you follow insane religion all you want to. It's like a man tying dynamite around his chest and going in a room with other people and hitting the button. I don't know how. My friend Melvin may look at this later. I don't know how my end is coming, nor when it is coming. I did not give thought to it. I'm too busy being okay living. Thank you for coming to PJ's live stream on this, what is this, solar eclipse day.